vintage cool cars out there, something, I don't know what it's like, I mean,
It's right in the town of Melton.
You know what,
so I
actually,
think
now
it
that you
could be too
mention
much.
that is it's probably best to say, no, you buy it back, make it your
Well,
property.
we've had
And then
people-
you can go do what you want.
Yeah.
We have had people interested calling on it, and all they want it for is to clean it up, because it's an eyesore for the.
Well, he's gonna clean it up anyway, I guess if what Ben's pointing out is if you say, well, you can clean it up, we own it, you can go ahead and clean it up before you own it. And then he goes and he takes away the valuable stuff and then he doesn't buy it.
At this point, we're gonna have to,
I doubt
If we
there's
were to
anything
sell
valuable
it,
there.
if we were to get this sale in process as quick as we possibly could, it'd have to be for the public. We couldn't just say, hey, you just come in and pay the damn taxes up and the penalties and.
Well, he has a
He
right.
has a right.
well, he has a right
Oh,
to
he still
do that.
does?
Yeah,
He has a right to
Okay,
do
well
that.
then hell, is he wanting to do it?
well,
He
he
mentioned-
was supposed to be here to discuss all this at 11:30 today.
Yeah.
Cause I told him to come back at 11:30, and he's got a lady with him, I don't know
Yeah.
who that is, but,
We're close to that now.
yeah. So I guess if he shows up sometime today, that's kinda where,
Well, that's the first thing, we'll give him the option
but I
to do
think,
that.
I think his plan, to me it sounded like yesterday, he would find out for sure, he wanted to contact Medicaid. If he
Yeah,
takes it back, are they gonna put a lien on it? Cause I don't think he,
Let them know, why,
Well, it'll be in his name and no longer in his dad's.
well, no, it would go back to his name, or
Okay,
back to Dick's
his
name.
dad's,
Yeah,
okay,
you have
for
to
the
beat it back to who had it,
Okay.
and then he would have to go through the process to get it put into his name.
Okay,
Yeah, we can't deed it back to, or we can't deed it to that guy, it has to be deeded back to
okay.
the previous.
Dick, yep.
So Ben, what's your ultimate opinion?
But there's no lien on it, so,
There was no Medicaid lien yet,
yeah.
but that's what he's thinking, now that his dad passed
No.
away, is Medicaid now gonna do something?
Well, but
You know what, but, so here's the next question.
I'll bet you not.
What, you know, what kind of property and stuff is out there? Like,
Yeah.
what is it he's wanting to remove? Is he wanting to remove the cars and stuff? Because Medicaid's gonna slap liens on all that stuff. Everything that the guy's got a title for, Medicaid's gonna put a lien on.
But can Medicaid do that after you've died?
I'm sure they can, against your estate, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, it seems like I've been through that and once you passed away, I don't know that they can.
Government always gets their money.
Oh, yeah. But
You
that's a
know,
good question, if you can find out.
But, I mean,
He did have a pickup there, I know.
Where is it in Millstone?
Well, it's right west of the filling station, it's right in that next street over. Got a trailer house on it, a trash trailer they lived in. And he didn't have stuff in the
There's a
yard.
lot of those, so that's
Yeah.
not very, that's
I guess-
not very descriptive there.
Don't bring it in.
Sounds like
so guys,
everything there.
I'll tell you what, here's my thought. Unless he can, you know, he can hire an attorney if he wants to and come in and make a legitimate argument for
Yeah.
why he should be able to take stuff off that property.
Yeah,
At which point in time, we'll worry about it.
I would.
Or he can redeem the taxes on it,
yeah,
at which point in time, we'll worry about it.
yeah.
Otherwise, we're auctioning it all off on Monday, and if he wants to bid on it, it's his. If somebody else buys it, then he can negotiate with them and get stuff off the property.
I would rather you talk to him that way
Okay.
before anyone, you know.
No, I'll talk
Yeah,
to
if he
him.
ever shows up.
Yeah,
Well,
okay, so well, anyway, that might be coming down the, or we'll be deeding that back to him if he gets those all paid up.
okay.
Now, so this is the school stuff.
Oh, yeah, the cool.
school, not cool.
I don't have enough of these. You can give it to him, it's okay, I can read online.
You guys talking budgets.
Okay, so here's the thing I always give you for the schools bills. And then I'm gonna go, this is this spreadsheet that I always fill out the mill levy comparison from,
Beautiful.
that has everything.
This is really important. Can you send me your Excel sheet?
Yeah.
And I'll just file it under this year's budget, so that way I got a copy of it.
Okay, so anyway, the schools, you know, you can just see down there what their, the mills are and what, how much they need for transportation and retirement, blah, blah, blah. And then the co-op also, but with the amount of cash we still have in those funds, as far as the retirement and transportation go, and the anticipated coal gross proceeds, we do not need to mill again for those. We didn't mill anything last year, we won't need to mill anything again for those three funds.
And those funds are 7850.
No, 70, well, let's see, yeah,
No,
78.
these ones, school
Or seven-
districts, city around it, or no, this one right here.
So if you're looking at that, I'm looking at the
Oh.
schools thing.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, so when you go through the whole, the elementary, this is,
Oh, I got you.
yeah, so now we're down, it's no mills by the time you,
Okay,
but we
because,
are milling this, or, you know, you'll see, this will correspond with the other sheet then for their actual mills they need.
okay,
But this is just the countywide retirement and transportation, that we have enough money in there, and the coal gross proceeds that are coming in, we won't have to mill.
okay.
So then, over on this one, then you can compare what the schools, you know, like their increases and decreases and whatnot, so, well, Broadview's its own little disaster. So this is the increase, you know, so like Roundup Elementary increased 18.39, and their high school increased by 5.74. These are just mills, but that doesn't necessarily mean, you know,
No,
because mill
it's-
levies, or
but
mill
actually-
values went up, so.
But actually, it's a double whammy. They've increased their mills and the mill value went up too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be a booger for Roundup.
That affects the taxpayer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I don't know, I guess I didn't look at that, how much their mill value went up, you know, cause they have their
Oh,
own
yeah,
values, so
yeah,
they're
maybe
different
they
than
did
ours.
go up.
Yeah, and then Millstone, they went down, elementary and high school, they're down on their mills. And then Broadview combined, you know, they were elementary and high school, now they are a K-12 school. So I just kinda put that off to the side, that,
Okay.
so basically, if you figure those two together, they
So
just.
they went about 5 point
Yeah.
something.
Increased just like 5.1 or something, or, yeah, 5.1. So,
So
That's just
I'm kind of ignorant on this piece of it, you know, but I was looking that we would get together and we would at least talk conceptually and try and order of magnitude, get a feel for what this year's impact would be on the taxpayer as a general. And what I'm kind of picking up over this, you know, you had mentioned that, well, there's been a change in shifting tax burden to commercial versus residential or industrial. But this school stuff sounds like this might be a hit for them.
yeah,
Because if the mill went up, the mill value went up and the mills went up.
yeah, so then here's like each district, so you know, this
Okay.
is overall, it puts all of
You
this
have to
together
look
by
at each one of
district.
these district sheets, right?
Yeah, so like the people that live in town, that's this bottom one here.
Okay.
You know, the mills overall went up 56.66
Okay.
total. And, yeah, but like you say with the, and that includes everything, so you kind of, that's why it's so hard, because you have to look at, okay, the schools, you know, how much did their mill value go up or down, or if they did, and the same with the city of Roundup, did theirs go up or down, you know, not just our county-wide.
And honestly,
All
I'm
that
just kind
figures
of more focused on people coming to us and saying, you guys raised our taxes.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking we didn't for most people, because of this shift, their taxes will be lower for residential or commercial. And that's what I kinda wanna, before we actually stamp, finalize what we get. Sophie's waiting till the 8th, right, till we say, here's your package. or she already got it, or, so, just so we know that we're not gonna wanna make any changes. You get where I'm headed?
Yeah.
Is that a super hard analysis?
Maybe, maybe for me, not for you probably, but.
Well, let's meet sometime next week that works for you guys, and let's just talk
Well, no,
about.
it has to be done by Monday.
Oh, Monday's the 8th?
Yeah.
Well, then let's just talk about it conceptually. You had said, look, for residential, you used to pay a factor of like 1.3 something.
1.35%.
Of what?
That's that's the tax rate, so their market value times 1.35% gives you your taxable value.
Okay,
Now it's their market value, which market values have gone up, and times the 0.76% for
your
residential.
taxable value, but how does that relate to mills if we didn't increase the mills?
So then your taxable value gets multiplied by the number of mills,
Okay,
and then you divide by 1,000, and that's what your actual taxes are.
alright. So, for the county-wide stuff, we increased the tax revenue we're getting for our levied, for our non-voted levied funds, and then for the road department, we increased it's really for the road department only, we increased the revenue $142,000. And I'm thinking the residents won't feel that because of this factor shift.
Right, yeah, that's what my thoughts are too, but, like, am I missing a piece
Well,
that I'm not
okay,
thinking
so
of
let's
too?
not, we're not gonna solve this by Monday. But maybe that can be a lesson from this, is that we make it an exercise to go back and get a feel for how, because I'm not worried about the road thing. I just didn't expect that health levy to go up 146 million. And I don't know how that's gonna affect people as well.
Yeah,
How does that work? That's the permissive levy.
so did we ended up with final numbers, right,
Yeah, we
on
can.
that?
Yeah.
That by going with Nancy said, with the number of employees times the 1,100, whatever that we're paying. And what makes me still uncomfortable is where Nancy goes, why did it go up so much? And I'm like, I don't know, It's-
Well,
it does
obviously,
stand
there's
out.
3 numbers, so you got a baseline amount
Right.
based on X amount of employees.
It was
Then-
our employees went down,
Yes,
so per employee it's more expensive, right?
and relative to the baseline, that might be, when you look at what it was like $600 and some dollars, I think, per employee back then. Now it's like
Yeah.
1,600. Well, you have to look at the.
Yeah, right, which is expensive.
But I think your point is, are we confident that every one of those numbers is the number of employees is the number of employees receiving benefits less the enterprise funds, the ambulance.
So that's what we truly did, because
Yeah.
that's not what Nancy said to do.
Well, she said to put on more, cause she just said to do include everybody,
Yep. Well, other than the,
Other than.
other than it, right?
yeah.
So if we were to make a correction there, we still have time to do that. Can you run that by Nancy again?
Yeah.
Because that is the only number that we've got that's feeling
Unsettled
a
to
little,
me,
yeah, a
yeah.
little, because we can change it. We got time, okay, this is our final budget. We don't have to re-advertise and everything, do we?
No, cause it says in there that, it's an ongoing thing up until the final, which is at 3 PM on Monday, so we have till then.
Yeah, could you just look at that and say, look, what you did is, instead of taking all the number, we like have 50-some employees, and we took the refuse and the ambulance out, we got X amount. First, figure out how much different that number is than the number you used.
I don't think it'd be much, but
But I mean, because it may be a moot point.
Yeah,
You may be effectively doing
Yeah.
what she said,
okay,
but, yeah, that's where I'd start. Yeah, cause I remember number 37.
yeah, so we have 37 employees, and she just said times what we're paying, which is like $11.30 per employee times 37, and that should be
Okay.
what we put there.
And you,
in that form, but then she also said that doesn't necessarily mean you need to mill all of that.
Because of the amount that we have,
Yeah, the amount's sitting there.
but she said you could also do that moving, I don't know, just.
Well, that's what I had said before. as
well,
long as
because of
we-
the amount, but we should have used that cash.
Right.
I mean, so in my mind, that was like 300 grand sitting there or something. We should have used it, we didn't use it, but we were entitled to it based on that calculation, and we should have used it, we're gonna use it.
Right.
Are you all agree with me on that one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
where's the, is the budget still up
Yeah,
there?
that's right.
Well, we can always fire something.
What she was saying is we don't, because we have money in there still, we wouldn't have to.
I know, we wouldn't have to mill as much, but I'm saying there
we
should have
just need
been
to-
no money.
Right, there should have been
sitting
none, so we should move forward.
Yeah, we
Use
should
that
get the
money and
full
continue.
benefit of what we, because this offsets our healthcare costs.
Cause if we did,
Yeah, and that, yeah, that's the whole point of it.
yeah, so if we did.
Okay, so let's see.
What do you think?
37.
This might be the only change we
It's,
want
I
to
think
make.
it actually would go up if we did it that way.
Would it?
Yeah,
Yeah, whatever.
how much is,
Well, actually, go to that sheet.
because I think this one, we only had like
Yeah, it's just-
400, yeah,
yeah.
480.
Somehow,
Or at least not
37, and if we did 37 employees times 1130 times 12, that would be over 500,000.
That
And I think that's where we
insurance
stayed
is always a
with
dirty rotten broker.
That
And that's
sheet,
causing
that
more
worksheet,
trouble.
yeah.
with the calculation we actually, because the July, what Charlie printed was what we actually spent. But she said you don't have to get that in
Yeah,
depth,
they have to cough up
right, you
Okay.
can just do, but,
their employees that they hadn't planned on.
Alright,
You hear that?
let's take that thing apart.
No,
You know, and they've got a help with them set of accountants.
Is it back here with the,
oh, maybe,
Had to cough up.
it may not call for, oh, yeah,
I'm sure.
well,
Shit.
look at the table of contents,
too complex.
what does it say?
it's just too massive.
No.
Yeah, well.
I could pull
When
it
the
up. on
bankers
my
required a budget, my mother went, she
Matter of fact, I'm
pretty
done.
belled,
Did she?
yeah. Said, oh, I don't know what things gonna bring, oh,
It should be at the very back.
I guess,
Just use whatever they suggest, you know.
you know.
So are those, maybe those would
Well,
have to
those
be
don't go in there, yeah, those, the actual worksheet itself is actually that, but can you pull it up,
Yeah, I'm
since I
gonna
sent it to
see if I
you?
can't find it.
Yeah, cause I think it would, I thought it was included, but I think, yeah, it goes up if we don't do actuals. I think her point is, it doesn't have to be that complicated.
Well, it may not be that different. The subtle point is you use the number of people who are actually getting benefits versus the total number of people that are on it.
So I think what she was saying is you could mill for more, like you could add the larger number, you don't have to get only who you're paying for, only because if that, say that person leaves, then we didn't include, and then we get another employee in their position and they take on health insurance, well then we didn't include them, was her point with that, I think.
Yeah.
A moving target there.
All right, so it's the permissive levy, isn't it?
Yeah,
Mill levy, history, lower, permissive levy group for health. It's this sheet right here, right?
Yeah.
So this is the number, see, look at the difference. The baseline had 46 people at 646, so you would take that total
yep,
versus 37 people, but this is so much higher.
yeah,
But this is the number that we wanna validate. If this number is higher, does that mean we'd actually be milling for more money?
Well, so rewind to me, why? Cause this is what you got from,
Mhm.
the 728,000 is what you got from Charlie.
Yep.
But if we,
Well, this number here is simply this number divided by that, right?
right,
Good.
so,
Look how much it's increased since 2019. Does this number even mean anything?
well, that's
Like, is it your
basically,
per
see, that says your
employee?
monthly,
Yeah, but is this 728 what we've actually got,
That's what
less
we-
the refuse? You have to take the refuse and the enterprise out of that
yes, and
728.
yeah,
Right.
she
You
did.
did?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I thought I found it. I found it. Then the other thing is, does this number?
I guess the
really
way, yeah, the way we do it, the way, by adding Charlie's stuff up, that says per employee is the 1641, isn't per employee only 1130? That's where I'm stuck
But
in,
that's
I need to.
just- But then you get into like their
Well,
vision and dental, what we're contributing.
Well, here's what I think is wrong here, okay? If this is what we actually paid, we're actually paying more than our employees. We're paying more than the employer's responsibility. Some people have a policy where they pay the difference between the 1130 and what they're actually doing. If this number is basically, this is what we've paid, this number's inflated, because we're actually getting revenue back from the employees, we're just not taking it out of that.
Okay, yeah.
Let me repeat that. So,
Yeah, please do.
let's say somebody their healthcare and benefits are $1,800. We're only gonna pay $1,130 of that.
Mhm.
The rest of that's gonna come out of their paycheck.
Right.
But
So-
this 728 includes the 1,800.
No,
No.
that includes what the
Yeah.
employer
Yeah,
actually
because it
paid.
breaks it down to like just what the employer contribution.
Okay, very good. I just wanna make sure.
Yeah.
Okay,
We can double
If you
check it.
include
I mean,
employees that have retired and are still getting insurance.
well, there's like maybe two or
unless
three,
we're
right?
changing that.
The only thing I can see is if this number, this is the number that means it. This is saying 728 minus 362 is 437, right? So this number has no bearing whatsoever. Just making sure that this number doesn't include the refuse and the,
Brian,
am I right there?
Yeah.
Or,
It could be that this number
Trying to
was
think of,
not done right. Is that maybe what's driving part of this? Maybe,
But-
doesn't matter.
Well,
But,
Even the
you know,
banker-
even if that
banker-
was done wrong, why, like last year,
he's
why
still
was
gonna
there not
sign
such a
that
huge
claim all
difference
the
as
time
well?
for him.
well, and I think that's why if we
Oh,
had
yeah,
37
when we work
employees,
here.
right?
Yeah.
She worked
That's
upstairs.
as of the report,
You know.
and we times it just by what we,
Well,
our
there's
contribution, which is the
4 or 5 of them at
1130.
least.
It's 41,810
Still
times
getting
12. This is
insurance.
how Nancy said to do it. Then it's only 501,000.
And we're signing claims for him, so.
But then we need to go back and look and see why we're paying so much. Well, because that's an actual.
I got a
Not where
feeling
it's
this actuals has our overpayments beyond the
Yeah,
position.
Great, man.
Find that out, because in my mind, you should be able to
Yeah.
go 37 times 1130
Mhm.
times
It's
12.
only
Yeah.
700
There's your-
something.
Yeah, the five,
So
that's
that's
501.
501,720. So if you put, can you put, will
We
it
might
let you?
have got.
Well,
But
I'm
any-
gonna save it as a,
So you guys include them or not?
who's that?
The retired people still get insurance, like Matt Field and Brian Adolph. They
Brian
still-
doesn't, they have Medicare now, so they
Oh,
haven't been
yeah,
on
I
there for a
noticed
long
I haven't
time.
signed a claim for him for a while.
Yeah, so it's only,
Well, I can go back and recalculate.
Matt Fields and
Okay, I'm gonna do
Candy
this.
Kenner,
Yeah.
So-
This is
And-
equal to 1130.
and hers is just dental and vision, and
Times
Viviano's
12.
dental and vision.
You-
Right.
You know about it, huh?
Times this number.
Yeah, cause they bring money in,
Yeah.
and we have to pay it out to
That's
Mako,
$291.
but they
I
pay
know I
for it.
signed claims for him, I thought, wow. Nice
I
job.
think, why wouldn't it be that? Why wouldn't it be 1130 times 37 times
Right.
12. Why would it not be that number? And I'm saying the reason
Yeah,
it
and then
isn't
maybe if
is
Justina
because
gets
this
us,
number had what we were paying more, but not recognizing we were getting money, unless you said you
Yeah,
did.
I'm not-
Well,
Well, I'll go back and, I'll go
yeah,
back.
I think just get those sheets that Charlie gave you, and then we can kind of, maybe
Yeah.
something will go, oh, yeah, look,
Okay.
something might stand out.
You got lots of time, don't worry about
well, hang on a second.
God, you got all the way till Monday.
it. Yeah. I gotta take two
Well,
days
that's pretty
off.
close to what it was last year. This is
But
210.
remember,
Last
I'm
year, it
at,
was 291.
I am at, Treasurers Convention all next week, so I am not here Monday.
Well, then
Wow.
we'll have someone to blame it on.
Mike, there you go. That was quick.
Just because it's fine, I won't be here.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go
Ask-
look over it, cause then if we see a big difference, then we need to ask ourselves, why are we overpaying?
Yes. If it says this is actually what the employer paid, it's like,
Cause yeah, it's that.
unless maybe this doesn't deduct refuse and something's not right. Because it should not be any more than that, right? Look at there's
Yeah,
your 11.
I mean, see, that's what's comfortable to me is
Yeah.
what we see there.
Well, it makes a huge difference because the number that we plugged was 437
Yeah,
and it
it's
would
like
be,
half.
Yeah,
and then, so it would be, but it's less than last year. Last year was 291, I think. You might check that too.
yeah.
Which means we have less than.
So what
4%.
employee, if you go to the bottom of it, well, how many mills did that?
12.
So, yeah, it goes down to
12, which is
12.87 mills.
closer to what,
Yeah,
I think we might,
I think we should probably go with that then.
yeah, and that would be our only change. And then I would be more comfortable that we're not placing an
Yeah.
additional burden on them.
Well, and that's how she said moving forward, she's like, don't go through that, just do your number of employees.
Well, you might have stumbled onto something. You know, still look into why is this
Yeah, okay.
700?
Okay.
And you might find, oh, it didn't deduct, but if that's the case, there's a disconnect somewhere.
Okay, I'll recalculate.
Well,
And I think it's probably Mike's getting too much healthcare.
Yeah, we'll take 'em off.
I need it though.
That's the only thing I would change, guys.
yeah, that's the
Okay.
only thing that's been uncomfortable to me from the get-go, is that,
Well,
so.
me too, when I was trying to say, no, hopefully we're not gonna do anything that's gonna make our constituents mad, and then I wanna let them all know, but by the way, and this is something I wanted to share with you two. You know,
It's right there somewhere.
that when we did this thing, there was one of these brilliant sheets here. When I added up, just to share with you guys, and conceptually, but when I added up our total appropriations, less what we used to balance, I'm calling this our baseline appropriation, this is the 521, versus our tax and non-tax revenue, we're actually, and this is between voted and voted levies, non-voted, we're eating into our reserves roughly 1.1 million bucks. Meaning we're not bringing in enough revenue to cover what our baseline appropriations are. That's why when I look at our cash, we can't continue to do that.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
we're dipping into our reserves. We, rather than raise taxes, because we still got like 85 mills we could have raised, right, to make that level. We're not doing that because of, what's really driving that is the variation in coal revenue is dependent on a contract sales
You need
price, the
this?
coal sales price,
I got
which is
mine.
all over the board year to year. Might be $100 one year, might be $50 another year, so
A lot in
our
there.
coal revenue's down. But let's watch that next year, so
They
we
can be
actually
open for
levied
300 days in North
for
Carolina.
$442,000 more in revenue. But we're still
So we doing it right?
$1,087,000 short of
That's
covering,
pretty good.
dipping into our cash to pay
Yeah,
for our
they got a
appropriation.
big
Now,
budget.
the other piece of that is, maybe some of these appropriations may be pessimistic and fat, we may not spend
Find
it.
out, yeah.
Yeah,
That's why I think all of this is about where it needs to
I
be.
found it right there.
yeah, and then, and as long as I think, if we keep on the department heads that, yeah, you have this amount of appropriation, but you have to have the cash and the revenue to cover it. So
Bingo.
Yeah, right.
So, and just a heads up, you know, my phone's ringing, turn that off. Sean's gonna have a fit for the amount that you have in